What if I told you a movie about summer, love, and youth slowly turns into something darker, more uncomfortable, and ends in a way that leaves everyone shocked? This is not just a film, it's an experience. It's messy, sensual, chaotic, and deeply human. Today, we're diving into Mektoub My Love, Canto Due by the controversial filmmaker Abdellatif Kechiche. And trust me, what happens in this story is not what you expect. This is the third chapter in the Mektoub My Love saga, a story about youth, desire, confusion, set in the sun-soaked coastal town of Set. At first glance, it looks simple. Young people, beaches, food, flirting. But underneath all that, there's tension, secrets, and emotional chaos waiting to explode. At the center of everything is Amin, a quiet, thoughtful young man. He left medical school in Paris to chase a dream, filmmaking. He observes more than he speaks. He feels more than he shows. And that's what makes him dangerous, because he sees everything. Back home, life moves slowly. Days are spent on the beach, nights in crowded restaurants and clubs. His cousin Tony? The complete opposite of Amin. Confident, loud, always chasing women. Tony doesn't think, he acts. And this difference between silence and chaos is what drives the entire story. Then there's Ophélie. She's beautiful, complicated, and stuck between two lives. She's engaged to a man in the army, but secretly she's been with Tony. And now she's pregnant. But no one is ready to face that truth. Not Tony, not Ophélie, not even Amin. And this secret is quietly ticking like a time bomb. At first, everything feels calm. People laugh, they flirt, they eat, they dance. But if you look closely, there's jealousy, there's insecurity, there's longing. And slowly, this peaceful summer starts to crack. Because very soon, two strangers will arrive in this small town, and their presence will change everything. One night, something unusual happens. A wealthy American couple arrives. Jessica, a rising actress, and Jack, her older husband, a Hollywood producer. They don't belong here, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. They walk into Tony's family restaurant after closing time. They demand food, and somehow they get it. But this isn't just dinner. This is the moment everything begins to shift. Amin gets a chance. Jack agrees to read his script. For Amin, this is everything, his dream, his future. Finally, a way out. But Tony? He sees something else. Jessica. Tony starts flirting. At first, it's harmless. Just looks, small jokes. But Jessica responds. And suddenly, this becomes something more. Something risky. They began meeting again at the couple's luxurious villa. Wine flows, conversations deepen, and boundaries start to disappear. Now two tensions grow at the same time, Amin's dream and Tony's desire. One wants success, the other wants pleasure, and both are heading toward disaster. Meanwhile, Ophélie is falling apart. She's pregnant, confused, alone. She turns to Amin for help, but even he doesn't know what to do. And just when everything seems like it might work out, someone crosses a line that should never have been crossed. Tony and Jessica, they get closer. Too close. What started as flirting turns into something physical, something real. And no one expected it to go this far. Amin sees everything, but says nothing. He watches like a camera, recording, feeling, but never acting. And that silence, it makes everything worse. Jack still believes in Amin's script. He talks about turning it into a film. But something feels off. Is he serious? Or just playing along? No one knows. Ophélie reaches her breaking point. Her future is collapsing. Her relationship, fake. Her pregnancy, hidden. Her emotions, uncontrollable. And no one is truly there for her. Up until now, this felt like a summer story. But suddenly, everything becomes heavier, darker, more intense. Then comes the final stretch. A night filled with tension, jealousy, desire, confusion. And then, something shocking happens. Something no one sees coming. And in that moment, everything falls apart. As the film reaches its final stretch, everything that was quietly building beneath the surface finally starts to crack. Throughout the movie, we've been watching Tony's reckless flirting turn into something dangerous, Jessica's curiosity turn into emotional involvement, Ophélie's hidden crisis grow heavier, Amin silently observing everything. And then, the tension explodes. The final sequence brings emotional chaos instead of clear resolution. There's no clean confrontation scene, no dramatic confession tying everything together. Instead, relationships collapse in fragments. Tony's behavior spirals beyond control. Jessica is no longer just playing along. Jack's illusion of control begins to break. Ophélie remains trapped in her unresolved situation. And Amin? He finally reacts. The most important image is Amin running. It seems simple, but it's loaded with meaning. Throughout the entire film, Amin has been passive, observant, silent, and emotionally restrained. He watches life instead of living it. But at the end, something shifts. He runs. This can be interpreted in multiple ways. 1. Running away. He might be escaping the emotional chaos, Tony's reckless behavior, Ophélie's painful situation, his own inability to act. In the sense, the run is avoidance. 2. Running towards change. Or this could be the first real action he takes. After hours of silence, he finally moves. Not thinking, not observing, just acting. This could mean he's finally stepping into his own life. He's breaking free from passivity. 3. Running without direction, most likely. The most powerful interpretation. He doesn't know where he's going. And that's the point, because the film is about youth, and youth is confusing, directionless, emotional, and uncertain. Amin running equals life without answers. The film refuses to give closure, and that's intentional. Tony, his charm turns into self-destruction. He chases desire without thinking. He creates emotional damage around him. By the end, he represents impulse without consequence awareness. The film doesn't end traditionally because it's not about what happens next, it's about what just happened to them emotionally. Think of it like this. This isn't the end of the story, it's the end of a summer, and summer ends suddenly. The ending is telling us youth is chaotic, love is messy, desire is dangerous, and life doesn't wrap things up neatly. Amin running equals you, me, everyone trying to figure life out. The film doesn't want you to leave with answers. It wants you to feel uncomfortable, curious, reflective, because sometimes not understanding is the point.